I grew up on a farm in Alberta, Canada. The creature I saw still haunts me to this day. When I was 13, I was on an ATV with my two older sisters, one 15 and the other 18. We were going to my grandma's, which was less than 2 kilometers away from my parents' place. We were traveling through our fields, but on the way I suggested we go round the fence so we didn't have to open the gates. It was pretty much the same path, just a bit off to the side. We had gates because this was our pasture for the cows. As we get to the middle of the field, we all noticed something sitting on top the hill we were about to climb. On top this hill we had a somewhat big pile of rocks from working the fields a long time ago. We slowed to a crawl because it looked human. We thought maybe a calf fell and was stuck, or maybe it was my uncle who looked after the cattle. But this thing was sitting weird, basically like how Spider-Man perches over buildings, crouched down on top a rock. As we were sitting there trying to figure out what we were seeing, this thing slowly stood up and my heart sank. Its arms were long, grossly long. I screamed stop and instantly jumped from the front of the ATV to the driver, replacing my sister. As we were switching, this thing started running at us, but it was running weird. Its arms were swaying back and forth like a normal runner. But because of how long the arms were, it looked weird. You would think it would run on the long arms, but it didn't. It was running fast. I turned around and shot off straight through the field. My sisters were screaming it was still coming, but I honestly could not look back at this thing. I just said, "Don't look at it." We rounded the corner and that's the last we seen it. After that corner it's trails to my parents' house. As we got home I crashed the ATV into the deck trying to get in as fast as we could. We were so scared my parents actually believed us. They called all the family to warn if it was a trespasser. They said nobody seen anything or anyone in the fields. Now I want to describe this thing. It was tall, skinny, and wore no clothes. Just a body is what we could see. Grayish color, and the head wasn't shaped like a human's. It was thin and small. We were about 30 to 40 meters from this thing, and it chased us in broad daylight. Follow for more horror stories.